Good morning, everybody. I wanted to wait a little bit before I spoke on Loyal, also known as his real name, his given name, Amaar. When I read this, when I first read this, it's like my mind couldn't process, my brain couldn't process what I was actually reading. Um, Durham police have identified a man whose death in Oshawa fire has been declared a homicide. Amaar Jawad, 22, he's only 22, has been identified as the person whose body was found after a fire at an address on Court Street on March 6th. Police said in updating the case March 23rd, police had earlier issued an appeal for information on the man's identity. Police attended the scene to assist Oshawa firefighters just before 10 a.m. on March 6. Shortly after the incident, police revealed the victim had suffered bodily trauma consistent with homicide. The fire was quickly declared suspicious, and the Ontario Fire Marshal was called in to investigate. To me, that sounds like, it's kind of written here. It sounds like someone allegedly killed him and then tried to cover it up with the fire. Jawad's death was Durham's fifth homicide in 2023, according to police. Now, I'm going to play something that Solar says about this. And then I'm going to show you all a screenshot taken by Mind Over Matter. Shout out to him for catching this. Before I get into it, let's get into what Solar had to say, who actually had respect for this when Velvet had none. So here is Velvet's response, everybody. I was just going to leave it as a community post, but the more I sat here and read over what she said, I've got something to say. Shout out to Mind Over Matter TV for catching this, and Oshun for catching it as well. Velvet had posted this. To me, it looks like it was on Facebook. I'm not able to look on, I don't have Facebook, but Velvet makes a post about Loyal Amaar's horrible, brutal passing. And this is her response. She actually had the nerve to put this somewhere on social media. She really did. But like they say, everything, once it's out there, it's out there. You can delete. Somebody's already got it. And what a thing to catch, Velvet. Have you no shame? Let's read this. Velvet Marquez. And why is everyone coming to me about who died from carbonation? Crazy face. I honestly don't give a fuck. Everyone reaps what they sow. That's how life works. I don't know nor care about what these people do with their lives. Well, here's the thing, Velvet. His life here is no more. So it's not about what they do with their life when his life was taken at only 22 years old. And this is your response. I'm minding my business. Well, that's great, Velvet. Death and destruction don't exist in my life. You sure about that, Velvet? Only when carbonation is associated. So block and delete. Anything from my past is blocked, never to return. That's not true, Velvet. Anything from your past can come back to bite you in the ass real quick. That's not me wishing or hoping anything happens to you at all. Hell no. But the fact that you could fix your fingers to type something like this says a lot about you. And I can't believe that there were people in the comments actually agreeing with you. What is wrong with people? How could you read this and agree? How could you read this and not feel some sort of way? Did he ever really do anything to Velvet? All of these people were in this cult. All of these people were horribly abused by this cult leader, Nature Boy, Eligio Bishop. And Velvet, I heard you the other day from Ocean. She had got a screen recording of you, which I'll get into that later. The things you were saying about Janae and Nature Boy being in jail. It sounded to me like you didn't even think he needed to be in jail, but that's another topic for another day. But right now, we're talking about this. This really tells a lot about who you are, Velvet. And sometimes I wonder if you even have a soul, if you even have a heart. Everybody goes through hard times. Little girl, you are not the only one. If you knew what I've been through, what a lot of people have been through, and I don't come up here and talk about someone's horrible passing like it doesn't matter. His life mattered. And this is your response, Velvet. I'm just actually baffled by this. Disgusted by this. Don't come up in my comments saying, well, this, that, and the third. I don't want to hear it. If you agree with Velvet, get off my page, because this ain't the page for you. Solar did make a little video for Loyal Amaar, which was totally opposite of Velvet's stance. So far, from what I've seen from everyone that was in the cult or documented the cult, it was nothing like Velvet's. Velvet is the only idiot to come up here and say something so stupid and then delete it. And I don't think she deleted it because she actually felt bad. I'm sure she was getting some pushback in the comments. And she probably was like, yeah, I guess that is a little harsh. I'll just take it down. But this is how I really feel. It's how you really feel, Velvet. If you took the time to type it out and post it on a public platform such as Facebook, this is how you felt. Why are you so bitter? Anyway, y'all, I've got to go to work. I just wanted to touch on this a little bit. I wanted to understand a little bit more before I spoke on it. And there's still a lot I don't understand. I'm sure we will. It sounds like this is under investigation now. So, well, it's been under investigation. More is coming out. But y'all have a beautiful and blessed day. And don't be a Velvet.